I think we are live. I can hear myself talk.
Hello, hello.
Hello, hello. Well, we'll look at this lineup. JR, that's me.
Harmon Miranda snuck back in for a second go.
Oh, just a little. First time commentating between us, which is awesome.
Dream come true for me. Dream come true.
Stop it, you're too kind. I'll tell you what we have got though, Harm. We've got a ripping game coming up next between Ballarat and the skaters in blue there. Of course, Diamond Valley, or Diamond Firetails as they are known for.
Yeah, renamed, relogoed this year. Very exciting.
Yeah, like the Tops. Love the Tops.
Yeah. Should we run through their rosters real quick?
Yeah, we've got a little bit of time to do that, so we'll start off, I think, on the Diamond Firetail side of the equation.
All right. We've got number 12 PMS, 155 Power Ranger, 2627 Hells Yeah, 3510 Watto, 37, also the captain, is Gilsey, 45 Assassin Speed, 495 is L, 55 Bussy the Vampire Slayer, 6502 Nick, 666 The Boost, 8888 Pepper Vendetta, 93 Slaps, 9999 Ponyboy, and 101 Campaign. On the bench is Duty Bench, Little Fury, Griv Reaper, and Spicy.
Beautifully done on the BRDL Rat Pack side of things. We have number 1 Sione, 111 Slasher Scissorhands, 113 Willow the Wisp, 16 Killer Curls, 166 Birdie, 216 Haley, 22 Corey, 266 Beck, 38 Roast Mortem, number 55 and the captain Snipples, number 99 Gussie, and on the bench we have Zave, Alice and Sly Devil.
We should probably announce our biases to start with. Now I believe you're married to somebody on Ballarat?
Oh, look, you know.
Oh, I totally get it. You know, and yes. I am married to the photographer. So
yes.
We both have a spouse out on the track at
we
this time.
We do indeed. Of course, Hawkeye out in the middle there, always doing a fantastic job and a massive supporter of roller derby as we get this one underway. And jamming for Ballarat is 22 Corey, 26, 27 Hells Yeah, the jammer there for Diamond Valley. Lee Jammer going the way of Ballarat.
Fast and furious start.
Oh, very quick.
Quick, sneaky 2 points to Ballarat, bringing them to the lead, 2.0 in that first jam.
Well, as they say in the classics, that could be a very, very handy 2 points come the end of the game.
They may need that, yes. Lining up, we have... I've got to look up the numbers, still I'm terrible. PMS for Diamond Valley against... Give me a clue for the Ballarat there.
It'd be 166. Looks like Birdie there, jamming for Ballarat.
Birdie jamming for Ballarat. Birdie's being held at the back of the pack by a wall of Diamond Valley blue. PMS sneaks out the front. Gets lead jammer, comes back around for a scoring pass while Birdie is still up against that big solid blue wall at the back of the pack. PMS pushing the yellow tripod forward. Hoping Cole Curls is bridging for them, so they're still going to stay as a solid 3 for a little bit longer. Ducking to the in, ducking to the out. 4 points for Diamond Valley going up on the board from that pass. Birdie still stuck at the back of the pack. Sneaks past on the inside, completes their initial pass. Not as excited about it as you might think. Well, it's hard work. PMS keeping an eye on the opposing jammer, deciding whether to call it or not, looking to the bench. Bench says no. Bench says it's worth scoring a few more points. Pushing that yellow tripod up past the 20 feet to get them out of play. They have to let it go. Another 4 points. Poor Birdie being recycled here at the back of the pack. I guess, yeah, Slappuccino plays for reals. Doesn't play for funds. So Birdie finds that inside line. Gets 4 points on the board. It's the end of the second jam. We have a 12-point jam for Diamond Valley. 4-point jam for Ballarat. Oh, a lie. It was a 15-point jam. I always miss those last couple
Don't
of
you
points.
hate it? You call it, you think, yeah, you got all the confidence, and then they change it.
Another hashtag commentator goals. So 15 points for Diamond Valley Firetails, 6 points for Ballarat Rat Pack. Still too early to call it, I feel.
Oh, way too early. Moving on to jam number 3, it is Hells Yeah. Then on the jammer start line for the Firetails, number 1, Sione. The jammer for Ballarat as we get this one underway. Both jammers looking to try and get through. Nicely done to the inside part of turn number 1. It is number 1 for Ballarat. Sione, lead jammer. Pack now slowly coming through to the midpoint of turns 1 and 2.
Fun fact about Sione, she's on borrowed skates today.
Borrowed skates.
What happened to hers?
They're in Ballarat.
Oh dear. Wowzers.
Whoops.
That's either going to be a complete mind game issue, or she's just going to forget about it and just play her game, right?
Sione could strap 2 ham sandwiches to her feet and she'd be fine.
We're wearing somebody else's skates.
Yeah, wow. The little nuances of how you play would be totally impacted.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure she could skate on a couple of Hot Wheels cars.
Yeah, we could have given her skateboards with masking tape. She would have been fine.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right, we've got Corey up against PMS. PMS sneaking down the outside. Corey unsuccessful on the outside line, getting drawn back. Oh, that tripod of blue at the back of the pack is being horrible to these yellow jammers. Probably what they're meant to do, but still soul crushing. Corey's past 3. Corey gets to the front. Slapatino doesn't get out there in time. Corey exits on their initial pass, whilst PMS exits on her scoring pass. And calls. Smart move. 4-point jam for our Firetails. 0 points to Corey that time, because I do feel Corey will be getting many points throughout the duration of the game. Bringing us 19 points to our Firetails, 6 points to the Rat Pack.
It's unlike Corey to go without too many points for too long.
They did score the first 2 points of the game, so...
True.
So got precedent.
Yep. 166. It is then jamming for Ballarat. That's Birdie on the line. I can't quite make out
5, no?
the Firetails jammer.
No.
All will become apparent.
5-5.
It is 5. 5, of course.
Bussy the Vampire.
Bussy the Vampire Slayer. Pack down, making its way down to turn number 1. Birdie there trying to just find a way through. It's just the one more blocker to get past. Nicely done. Lee Jammer going the way of Ballarat. Pack now in turn number 2. Here's, of course, now a power jam for BRDL. Trying to find some territory to the outside part of turn 2 there for Birdie. It's not going to work. Diamond Firetails blockers nicely done. 9-9, 9-9 there. Just Pony Boy doing what had to be done to try and stop the jammers. This one then is called off. And just the 2 points then for Ballarat. They move along to 10. Diamond Firetails on 19, and we've got just a tick over. I can't see the scoreboard properly.
Yeah, it's 24 minutes to go.
24 minutes, okay. Early stages.
So far, it seems to be pretty evenly matched. I'm not seeing a trend one way or the other. Sione trapped at that back wall. Hells yeah, coming out the front of the pack with lead jammer status. About half a track behind Sione. We've lost a yellow blocker to the box, leaving only 3 at the front to stop Helzier in her pursuit of points. She'll take all 3 of them though, which gives her 4. 4 points for Helzier. Did Sione sneak any through? 2 in her borrowed skate. That's 1 per borrowed skate. That's pretty good. They're paying off. 23 points to our Diamond Valley, 13 points to Ballarat. 10 points in it. It's nothing.
No.
I saw Spags do a 20-point jam in that last game.
Of course, Ballarat coming off the bye last round.
Fresh and rested.
Fresh and rested, so you would think that come the end of this game, there'll be still plenty in the tank.
I wish that was how it works. If you have a rest 3 weeks ago, you're not tired today. I wish.
True. So it is 2-2 Corey jamming for Ballarat, and the Beast 666 jamming for the Firetails. Corey gets on through, lead jam at Ballarat. We've got a spill of skaters here coming into turn number 1. Everyone seems to be all A-OK, which is what we want. Nice solid triangle at the front of the pack there, Ballarat. 5-5 Snipples is there, 9-9 Gussie's in amongst it. 266 Beck is there as well.
Looking magnificent, doing a great job.
Yes, indeed. So PMS now is the recognised jammer, but this one is going to be called off before the Firetails can do any more damage to the scoreboard, but not before Ballarat picking up 4 points, and this one's tightening right up.
8 points. 8 points.
In total. Nicely done. 21 Ballarat, 23.
Now those 2
Firetails.
points matter, don't they?
No, I did say it?
You did say it.
I did say it.
You did say it. Sione versus Nick. We haven't seen Nick jam this game so far. First jam for them. Lining up against seasoned jammer Sione. Nick pushing the Ballarat blockers to the front of the pack. Sione taking advantage of that. Using her blockers as trying to use her blockers as a battering ram and sadly getting a cut penalty for her time. Nick continuing, pushing safely at the front of the pack. Definitely the bench mirror telling them to stay safe, stay in the middle of the track. Works, lead jammer. Everybody waits for Nick to come back around. Slaps decides to speed the pack up a little bit. Comes in, does a little bit of O. Separates the Diamond Valley power wall. They do reform a tripod at the front, but have to start bridging out as they get further and further away from the main part of the pack. Nick's done it. 4-point scoring pass. Comes around for another set. Sione's returned from the penalty box, getting a drawback there from 151. That is, Power Ranger, is that 155?
351, I think that was Watto.
I've got terrible, terrible eyesight today. 351, I agree with you. Yeah. Great drawback and recycle there.
Yeah.
6 points to Nick in that jam, bringing Diamond Valley to 29 points. Ballarat still sitting on 21. Sione held scoreless in that jam.
Looks like we've got ourselves under our first official timeout for this game. So
one of many.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was just getting a photography update there. When you go to look at the photos for this bout, I believe they're all going to be square from Hawkeye.
Rightio. Okay.
I'm unsure of the motivation behind that, but if you are into square photos, that's what this bout will be. He's got to keep himself excited and motivated in each game. Alrighty, back to that was a fast timeout.
It was a fast timeout.
Must have been official, not
there was
not team.
Discussions and people were going here, there and everywhere.
There was movement, there was noise.
That's right. 2-2 Corey, 2-6-2-7 Hells. Yeah, the two jammers are out on track.
It's going to be a matchup we see a lot today, I feel.
I think so.
Oh, neck and neck again.
Nicely done, Hells. Yeah, just trying to get some territory to the inside part of turn one, and that worked beautifully. Lead jammer going the way of the Diamond Firetails, but
Corey overtakes you. Call it.
Yeah.
Life lesson in it for all of us, I feel.
More often than not, when your opposing jammer is behind you, hot on your heels, do the smart thing, call it off.
It's kind of points dependent, though. If you needed points and you had to risk it, trust your blockers. But in that instance,
100%.
Yeah, Corey overtakes you. They're not lead. Alrighty, Ballarat's taking the front line. Seems to be a bit of a theme. Diamond Valley loves having that strong defensive wall on the back line, and why not? It's working.
Absolutely.
PMS pushing tripod of yellow to the front. 5-5 bridging for Firetails, keeping both tripods in play. Birdie just getting through the back tripod at pretty much the same time as PMS gets out the front tripod, but as PMS is at the front, she does obtain lead jammer status. Half a track between them as PMS rounds around for her scoring pass. Diamond Valley staying at the back. PMS pushing at the front. Oh, they're going to, they're capturing Birdie, not going to call it this time. Well, you've got lead. So you've got to weigh up that decision between calling it and trying to obtain lead again, or calling it in hopes that you can lap the other jammer.
Well, true.
And Firetail's going with option 2 at this stage, trusting their blockers to hold Birdie at the back, and trusting PMS to lap.
I was just going to say, if your jammer's getting through and you're getting points, why wouldn't you keep doing what you were doing and holding up the opposing jammer?
When it would have been a risk to go 4-0 and try and get lead again, whereas now you might get 12-4, bigger differential. Curl's coming back to do a little bit of O for Birdie. And PMS being held up by 2 at the front. Gets through. That was a bit of a longer scoring pass, that one.
Yep.
I think that happens as the jam progresses. Everybody gets a bit more tired.
This is true.
All those plyometric bursts of speed just disappear. And I always find it amusing. I think if you timed the jammers how long it would take them to get back around each time, I'm sure that's just an increasing graph.
Yep.
Birdie recycled at the back again. And PMS calling it after that scoring pass because, 16 points. That's a full day at the office, I feel.
It is indeed.
2 points for Birdie for all that work at the back.
Yep.
45 points Diamond Valley, 23 points Rat Pack. That was hard work.
Well, for Birdie it was 5-5. Bussy the Vampire Slayer doing all the blocking at the back, positional blocking. That's what you get taught when you are a new skater to roller derby.
Yeah, skill that you can, underrated, like
100%.
so powerful.
Yep. So it looks like we have number 1, Sione, jamming for Ballarat, 2627, Hells Yeah. Jamming for Diamond Valley Firetails. Lead jammer going the way of Sione and Ballarat. Nicely done for Sione. The apex jump there off of turn number 1. Gets the 4 points.
Do you feel she was in control of her skates when she landed? Not her skates, I suppose.
Well, that could be the argument. That could be the argument. So with that 4 points, Ballarat just chipping away at this lead. Not a great lead, 27-45.
Yeah, potential to blow out or potential to come back, really.
100%.
They're only the two options, aren't they?
Yep.
Corey pushing out the front, only slaps to beat, which in itself is a hard thing to do.
Yep.
And then we have 5-5, Bussy,
Yep.
jamming for Diamond Valley. Half a track between them. Corey enters the back of the pack. Oh, had to face slaps at the front again. Oh, balancing on 1 foot on that inside line. Staying in bounds, looking to the bench. Bench says no, keep running it. We can hold back Bussy. Sadly, not a true statement. Bussy gets the no scoring point. Now got even score both teams. Bench changing their mind this time. 8 points to Corey, 4 points to Bussy. Bringing that points differential a little smaller.
Yep.
49 points for Firetails, 35 points for the Rat Pack. I love roller derby.
Yeah, it's a good fun day out. Because the Firetails, they'll want to be making amends for the previous round. They up against Kingston, and Kingston took the win in that particular occasion.
They're still top of the ladder, though, yeah?
Yep, they are. And of course, as I mentioned earlier on, Ballarat coming off the bye in the last round. So it is number 1, Sione, then jamming for Ballarat. Number 1, 2, PMS, the jammer for the Diamond Firetails. And nicely done by PMS, gets through, picks up lead jammer.
3 feet behind, though. Sione closing in.
And that's one of those situations, Harm, that we were just talking about before. When you get through, it's all well and good to get through, but if your opposing jammer's hot on your heels.
So you've got to make a strategy versus risk situation.
Exactly, unless you're absolutely 110 million% confident in your blockers to be able to...
Or you've got a 400-point lead.
Yeah. You're probably just best just to call it off.
Like, we're in the first quarter of the game. It doesn't
There's
make
plenty
sense
of time.
to do anything that's slightly risky.
Mm-hmm.
Nick up against Birdie. It's the matchup we haven't seen yet, I don't think.
Nope. First time.
Al doing some on the inside for Nick. Successfully. Gets them through. Lead jammer. Nick being chased down. Well out of play, though. 216 has to head back to that pack. Mm-hmm. We have got Birdie. You would never guess. Stuck behind a blue wall of defence at the back of the pack. If it works, why change it, eh?
Exactly. Ain't broke.
Recycled by Drawn Back and recycled by Slappuccino. Nick pushes that tripod at the front. Birdie getting a little bit of offense from curls. Falls down, but falls down in bounds, so that means you don't have to go back. Now decides to take off that jammer hat, try and do the stash. Passes to curls, but it was spotted. Wasn't a secret star pass. Bussy comes around, slows down Curls' movement to the front. But Nick's called, so after scoring 8 points unopposed, 0 points for Ballarat, 57 to 35.
Worth pointing out too, we've got some stall holders here today, Harm, on site. Pineapple Page is here.
Yes.
Westside have got their merch set up.
And baked goods.
And baked goods. Of course, Westside is the host league for today, and we thank them so much for putting on a fantastic show, as they always do. 2-2 then Corey, the jammer for Ballarat, picking up lead 2-6-2-7 is
Heading to the box.
Hells, yeah. Unfortunately picking up a cut track penalty, so good opportunity here for Corey and Ballarat to pick up
Very much.
some nice points while Hells, yeah,
Has a rest.
has a rest in the penalty box. So the wall of blue blockers up the front. Saw that Ballarat were going to make an advance on them and try and do the O and bust them up. Didn't phase Corey too much though. Nicely done to the inside part of turn number 4, their previous pass. It's 4 more points for Corey and Ballarat. Pack now coming through off the turn number 4. Unfortunately, it's a cut track now for Corey, so rolls reverse.
Untouched.
Helgia released back out onto the track after serving the penalty. Immediately goes into a power jam scenario. I have to say it was an easy 4 points on the on that previous pass. Now we've got the wall of blockers in Ballarat out front. Five Snipples is there. 266 Beck. He's in amongst it as well. Hells yeah, more than up for the challenge. Gets on through and picks up 4 more points for the Firetails. So we see Corey back out on track, being released from the penalty box and immediately sets about trying to pick up some points for Ballarat. Not to be outdone, 4 more points then for Helsier on that previous pass as a pack. Now coming down into turn number 3. Nicely done there, 266 Beck just laying a nice little block on Helsier.
Filling that inside line when she thought she had the clear path through. Well, that worked out better for extra points coming in. I was going to say that was actually quite successful for Ballarat, considering they had a penalty. But 16-11, not best case, not worst case scenario.
Oh. But a handy 16 points nonetheless.
Oh yeah, I'll be taking it.
Every single day of the week.
So 68 points for Diamond Valley, 51 for Ballarat.
We've got our first OR. Do you want to jump in the middle? You're more technically minded.
Never done this before. I'll be back.
Okay. So Harm then just making way just into the middle there to find out what this official review is. Our first official review for this game. Okay, what do we got?
So Ballarat are asking if they can have the cut track penalty on their jammer revoked, as they feel they were straddling and not given time to yield and re-enter legally at the time the penalty was called. Okay. The refs are now discussing it. Am I going to have to run back, or will we be able to tell from the faces of the people as to the outcome of the official review? Well, so we get 1 official review per half.
We do.
And if it goes your way, you get to retain and have a second shot at it.
Yep.
If it doesn't go your way, it's gone forever.
Into the ethos of lost official reviews.
I'm going to have to go find out.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okie dokie. It's a loss by the look of it. Yep.
I think I saw the head NSO do a thumbs down.
Thumbs down.
Therefore, official review lost. Therefore, cut penalty will stand. It's always a smart idea to use your official review on your jammers.
Yeah.
They're the ones that score the points, and like if you foul them out, big problem.
Well, yeah, you're in a whole world of hurt.
So having 1 less penalty on Corey's record would be handy. All right, jam. We're continuing. Sione up against PMS. Multiplayer buck to one of the blue blockers. So it's 3-on-3 in the pack. Sione pops out the front in her borrowed skates. And PMS gets out as we have a no pack situation. or an out of play situation. Either way, they weren't allowed to hit her and had to let her go. Sione slides through the middle, gets her points, calls it off before PMS even touches the pack. 68 points to our Firetails, 55 to our Ballarat. So you've done double duties today. You're officiating.
I officiated in the first game. First time in a long time. Apparently, myself and Ricker Mortis were touted as the John Farnhams of the refereeing fraternity.
Both officially retired.
Pretty much. So 166. Birdie then jamming for Ballarat and picking up lead jammer nice and quick. And we have Nick jamming for the Diamond Firetails. Got a bit of work to do at the front of the pack. The Ballarat blockers there, Gussie, Snipples, Beck. They're going to make damn sure that...
Birdie call that?
I believe so.
I'm not going to agree with that. Sorry. Nick was still on their initial pass. You're only 10 points behind. Don't call it.
Get some points.
Get some points. Got two.
Go to the bank.
Got two. Could have got more.
It does depend on how tired you are, though.
True then, if it was risking a penalty and stuff, yeah. Sorry, this is my opinion, not the opinion of the Derby community as a whole.
Yeah, I just can't resist also sharing mine.
Anytime.
I just like the sound of my own voice.
Yeah.
That's why I've set myself up a mic today.
Fair enough.
We love the sound of your voice too. So we've got Corey back on the line, up against PMS. Oh no, Hells Yeah. Sorry, my bad. I love this matchup. They have a similar jamming style. They are both highly competitive. So Hells Yeah getting lead jammer, coming around the outside. Corey coming around the inside. Hells Yeah falling down on her back, calling it off, not even seeing that Corey's made it around the inside. So, it's happened. The team that did not have lead did get the more points. So 4 points to Ballarat, 3 points to Hells Yeah, 71 to 61, 10 points.
Yeah, nothing in it.
Nothing.
As you would expect from these two teams, I think evenly matched right across the board.
There's the leaderboard's a little bit, a little bit misleading.
So we have number one then, Sione jamming for Ballarat 5-5. Gussie the Vampire Slayer jamming for the Firetails. Nice little turn off of turn one. Sees Sione getting on through, picking up lead jammer then for Ballarat. Recycling done nicely by Ballarat blockers there, getting up the front, making sure that Gussie has a bit of a hard time getting through, but nicely done nonetheless. Gussie gets on through the pack. Yeah, but Sione has seen enough, but not before getting some points and calling it off.
Clearing it back.
They are. As they say in the classics, Harm, this is anybody's game.
If they say in every game of roller derby, this is everybody's game. Every sport.
Every sport on the planet, I think, is...
I'm going to do a quick run through of our on-skates officials.
Yeah, right.
Thank you for being here. Pee-wee, Disaster Chief, Psych, Ash, Miss Cray Cray, Executioner, Knickerblocker, and Gary.
Yep.
Jam has commenced. We have PMS popping out the front for lead jammer. Stuck behind that ferocious wall of blue at the back, we have Birdie. Being drawn back by Slaps. Whilst PMS takes on that tripod of yellow at the front. No pack situation called, therefore yellow has to bridge out, let PMS go. She gets her 4 points. Birdie with the helmet cover in her hand, puts it back on as she completes her initial pass. Small pack, we've got 3 blue, 2 yellow out there. So, Diamond Valley deciding to take out one of the yellow blockers so that there's only one actively blocking PMS on that pass. And it's a fast-moving pack as Birdie tries to get through for her scoring pass. Stopped by a 2-wall at the front, which I'm going to say is kind of one of the tallest and shortest blockers from the Diamond Valley.
Yep.
Slaps there paired up with...
that's Watto.
Watto, thank you.
Fun fact, Watto's actually been skating for a number of years.
Yeah.
Very familiar face. I think had a stint at brdl there for a bit.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, Slaps has been around also for
Yeah, we're going to add
long
them.
time.
We're starting to collect our like legends of roller derby. We
Yeah, I
added
know,
Dolly
right?
and KO in the last game.
Yep.
We'll need to add
Yep.
Slaps and Watto as we go along.
Yep.
So that was an 11-point jam for Diamond Valley, 4 points for Ballarat, bringing our score to 82 to 69.
A few years ago, we did have a statewide Stampede All-Stars game at the end of the season.
Oh, that's right. It was all the MVPs voted in, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
Nice.
It was a heck of a game, but alas, COVID, of course, does what it did, and hasn't happened in a while.
Yeah.
I think we should reinstitutionalise that.
I just kind of want a legends team, you know, that we make up like the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame, I like that. So we had Corey there, 2-2, jamming for Ballarat. Hells yeah, the jammer for the Firetails, but
High five between them on the way through.
yep.
Corey won that round. Next time, Gadget.
So just the 4 points in for Ballarat. They move along to 73 nothing then for
Nope.
the Firetails. They remain on 82.
9 points in it. That's less than a jam. Well, some jams. PMS up against Sione. Firetail starting at the front line this time in the pack, but they were one blocker down, so that kind of makes sense if you've got the numbers disadvantage to take the front line. Still causing a bit of trouble for Sione there at the front. She's moving left, she's moving right, she's moving past them, gets lead jammer at turn 1. Diamond Valley comes back to do some offense to help PMS out. She's stuck up against Curls and Haley. Gets knocked to the inside and drawn back. Whoop. Twice. Gets recycled to the inside. Drawn back. All 4 yellow blockers ready to meet her as she comes back on the track. Sione coming around for her, I'm going to say second scoring pass. Calls it. Agree with Niles on that one. She did look a little bit more tired and fatigued, even though Blue Jammer was still on their initial pass.
Yep.
Potentially not worth risking that penalty and having the tide turn on you. So 8 points to Ballarat, bringing them in 1 point. It's now 82 to 81.
Oh.
This is a close game.
That was actually a pretty clever call off too by Sione, just getting taken to the inside part of the back straightaway. As we see it, not really sure if I should go back on the track. Am I going to get done for a cut penalty? No, I'll just call it off and play it safe.
Yep.
Smartly done. 2-2 it is then. Corey jamming for Ballarat.
Straight down that inside line.
Can't quite see.
Hells yeah.
It is Hells yeah. Jamming for the Diamond Firetails.
Sneaky star pass to pop out on a
Very
star stash, I meant, sorry.
Star stash.
Star stash.
And guess what? We've got our first lead change of the game. Those 2 points that Corey just picked up, 3 points in fact, move Ballarat along to 84. Diamond Firetails on 82.
And remaining on the period clock. Oh, is that a 1, Niles?
I can't see. I can't see anything.
I feel there's not much. So yeah, 1 minute 44
1:44
left on the period clock.
Yeah.
PMS pushing tripod of Ballarat at the front. Gets lead while Birdie, oh no, heads to the penalty box. I'm sensing another lead change. PMS coming around unopposed for her initial scoring pass, for her first scoring pass. Tripod has to let her go for a split second as a no pack was called. Then everybody reforms because it's everybody's responsibility to reform. And PMS pops out with their 4 points. Oh, that was almost untouched through the tripod there. Did a bit of a juke to the outside. Everybody moved slightly. Cut back to the in. Get through, get your 4 points. Now have all the blockers back on the track. Ballarat bridging out the front. Diamond Valley congregating at the back to stop Birdie, who's returned from the penalty box. She gets past and they meet her back up the front again. Crushing her soul, making her, question her life decisions and her choice for love of jamming. Both jammers now, the pack is all a bit confuddled. Both jammers being held. PMS now fighting against one Ballarat blocker at the front who's doing an made up. Now has a friend. called in a friend. 2 blah, blah, blah. Oh, don't you hate that? You're so close to popping out the front of the pack. But yeah, if you've already got your points, you've got the lead back, you just call it. You're like, I don't want to be recycled. No recycling for me. So that was a huge 16-point jam for PMS and a 2-point jam for Birdie. Lead change, 98 points. Diamond Valley, 86 points Rat Pack, and half-time.
We are at the half-time. That went quick.
That was actually really fast.
Really, really fast. Anywho.
And nerve-wracking, says the audience.
Yeah, well,
No, it's a tight game. Tight game, 2 lead changes. They're working out how each other works and how best to implement strategy against the opposing team. What do you talk? If you're in the halftime huddle, what are you saying?
What am I saying? Depends on who I'm coaching at the time. So if I'm taking a broader view, I'm probably going to ask my skaters to go back to the very basics. I'm seeing some very, very basic errors done, and concentrate on that. If you can tighten that up.
You're right. I think the reforming and the whole until you hear the no pack, or having a designated person so that you're not all letting go when you hear the no pack or the out of play.
Exactly. Don't be spooked by that.
Yeah.
One thing that you are taught as a new skater is always skate until you hear
your name and
until you
colour.
hear your name and colour. If you've done
right.
something wrong, you're gonna be penalised for it, or you hear a whistle. Don't ever skate to an assumption. So I'd be on both benches. I'd be just asking to focus on some of the basic things that are starting to creep into the game a little bit, and it's working for both teams in terms of getting an ascendancy and obviously putting points on the board where you're not. And that can, if that's left too long, it'll be detrimental to you at the end of the game because the other team will just...
Can't afford to have a 20, 30-point blowout happen. It's too hard to crawl back in a tight game.
Exactly. So I think still both teams are so evenly matched. I'm not calling it. Well, I am, but I'm not.
Yeah, no bets taken.
No bets taken.
Amazing.
Because you and I both know you win some, but you lose more. if you're betting on...
If you're betting, correct.
Yeah, exactly. So...
well, I'm betting I should go to the bake sale and buy some raffle tickets.
I'm going to head over to the bake sale. I think Beck has already bought tickets for us. So, but I am going to... I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to head over to the coffee van because that guy was here the last time. His coffees are pretty darn good, as is the guy for...
The taco truck's arrived.
I was getting a bit worried because we got sort of halfway through.
You wanted morning tea tacos.
And I was like, where's the taco guy? Is he still coming? But he's here.
He's here.
So we're loving the taco guy. I know I had tacos the last time, back in round 3, and they were
well
pretty darn good. So we're going to take a break, I think, huh?
Yeah. See you back in 10.
Yeah, exactly. So a little bit of music to get you through the halftime break, as it is at 98 for the Diamond Fire Tails and 86 for the Rat Pack.
Peoples, 1 minute until end of intermission, beginning of second half. We left you in a very exciting game where we'd had 3 lead changes. Diamond Valley Firetails do currently lead, 98 points to Ballarat Rat Pack's 86 points. We did forget to give a shout out. We did forget to give a shout out to our non-skating officials before in the first half. So I'll just quickly run through them now. We have Abby Normal, Bunny, Elemental, Kilohertz, Vivian Oblivion, General Pain, Panda, RG, Kitty and Bullseye. The good news is JR did go and get his coffee, and the coffee is just as good as it was last time. So be sure to support our vendors here, our Host League Westside and our stall holders. We have got some lost property handed over. Looks like a studded collar and chain. If that is yours, head on over to the commentary desk and be reunited. Hey, hey, hey. You wouldn't believe it. We've got Corey up against Hells, yeah?
I would.
Jam is on. Corey facing that wall of blue at the back. Helsia pushing through that wall of yellow at the front.
I think
Lead Jam over Helsia. Quarter of a track behind is Corey. Both approaching the pack. Helsia straight through calls. But, ooh, did Corey sneak in some points? Did they? Looking at the ref with the yellow. 2 points. 2 points snuck in for Corey. 4 points to Helsia. 102 to 88. Hey, hey.
I'm back.
You're back.
I'd like to say I was doing important things, but gas bagging wouldn't be one of them. So
networking, connection, Derby community.
All of the above. Working the floor, doing all the bits and pieces.
How dare you catch up with fellow people in this community whilst here.
Right. So we have number 1 then, Sione jamming for Ballarat PMS 1-2, jamming for the Firetails. Oh, nicely done, but unfortunately...
Low block to
Low
Gussie
block,
there.
yep.
2 people end up on the floor. 1 person was blamed.
Yes. So lead jammer going the way of PMS. Wasting no time getting the initial pass done. PMS gets the point scoring pass on the board as well. 4 points for the Diamond Firetails. That takes them over the 100 mark, 106. No points there, unfortunately, for Ballarat. They remain on 88.
Obviously, the pep talk at halftime for Diamond Valley was quite motivating and inspirational.
Yeah.
That's 2 leads, two higher points differentials in these first 2 jams. We have Corey up against Helsier again. I am loving this matchup, living for it. Oh, we had some penalty at the beginning. Who was that? Not a jammer. So, Corey, quick lead jammer status there. Coming back around as Helsier exits the pack on their initial pass. Big hit on the one opposing Firetail blocker. Gets their 4 points, looks to the bench. The bench is saying get Gussie out the box first, then you can call it. Very smart use of strategy, because 4 on the track's better than 3 on the track.
Absolutely.
Any day of the week.
Yep, 100%.
So 4 points unopposed for Corey. Creeping back to that 106, we have Ballarat on 92.
Big shout out to all our Derby fans that are watching at home.
In the warm.
In the warm. Of course, Beardcast, as always, a huge supporter of roller derby here today.
So much work. The amount of equipment that guy brings, my lord.
It is nuts. The only thing we're missing is an OB, which would be really nice, but we don't have the cameras or the setup or the budget.
A what?
Yeah, I know, right? An OB is an outside broadcast.
Oh.
It allows you to do all sorts of really, really cool things.
Oh, tripod of Ballarat pushing Nick out of bounds at the front, recycling them back to the middle of the straightaway. Whilst Birdie is again at the back of the pack, stuck behind that amazing defensive wall of blue. Gussie giving them a hard time, then letting them go past onto slaps, which I'm not sure is the better option. Nick's got one to beat, the other Gussie. Nick's got Gussie to beat at the front.
True.
Falls down but falls inbound, so no need to go back. Pushing Gussie to the 20-foot mark. Free to go. Scores lead jam.
All's well in the world.
All's well in the world. Not for Birdie, it isn't. Birdie is not up. And just as I say, commentator's curse, right?
Yep.
Gets past that blue wall at the back, only to find Slappuccino at the front. has now got that jammer helmet cover in their hand. Trying to divide and conquer the attention of the opposing blockers with, am I going to pass? Do you need to watch the pivot? Or am I going to jam? Watch me go. Nick, meanwhile, you know, come back around, taken out by one of their own skaters. Not to worry, that's not penalisable at least, yeah? You can back block your friends as much as you like.
Absolutely, you can.
Tripod at the front. Beck takes him out, ducks them out, draws them back. Recycled. Slides on past. This is a big jam for Nick. They're at 8 points so far and coming back around for another set. Birdie has now done the star pass. Snipples has the jammer helmet cover in their hand and is now the target of the blue blockers.
One of those blue blockers happens to be Slappuccino, who is an absolute formidable opponent. Very, very hard skater to get past Harmers. I'm sure you know. Oh, too well. This one comes to an end. 4 points then for Nick on that previous pass. Handy jam.
12 points unanswered. It's a way to win.
Well,
that's what your aim is. No.
Well, if you keep doing that, keep your opposition to nothing, and you keep piling on the points, chances are you're probably going to come away with a very, very sizable win.
Yeah. And as we're saying, the leaderboard is on wins and losses, but if you've got the same, then it's a points differential matters.
Looks like it's a power jam start then, Harm, for Hells Yeah, with Snipples taking a penalty in the previous jam.
I didn't notice Snipples go to the box. Bad commentator.
No, not at all. Not at all.
It's not like there's 10 people on the track all doing different things that you've got to watch at the same time.
True. Nicely done then from Hells Yeah on that previous pass. Some fancy toe-stop work coming off of turn number 1. Snipples has been released back onto the track and immediately has the beast Watto to contend with in the form of the Firetails of blockers. Trying to find some territory now to the inside part of turn number 2. Not quite happening.
Oh, Hells Yeah is just gliding down the line. Sometimes the inside, sometimes the outside. Oh, sometimes a cut.
And sometimes cut track.
Sometimes a cut. I'm not sure she agrees with that call.
No.
The body language is telling me.
What did I do wrong?
She respectfully disagrees. Snipples is going to take advantage, though, of being the only jammer on the track.
Absolutely.
Stupid not to, really.
666, the beast then for the Firetails out front. Watto now joins in on the fun, Harm.
Amazing recapture and reforming there by the Firetails.
9999 Ponyboy also doing their absolute damnedest to hold up the new recognised jammer for Ballarat, 1-6 Killer Curls.
Star pass complete. Jammer, who was formerly known as the pivot, now scoring some points. And 1 point. 1 point for Ballarat there. 14 points for the Firetails. They're just making that lead a little bigger by bigger. Well, it's probably not little by little, right? 12 points at a time, 13 points at a time.
Yeah.
132 to 93. Getting a sizable lead up now.
So
Got an official timeout.
Official timeout. I was just about to call the two jammers eagerly awaiting on the jammer start line. That will get jam number 6 underway. PMS for Firetails, Corey then for Ballarat.
Head NSO is going for a jog.
I actually think I saw Ballarat trying to call a timeout there, but if the officials are going to do it for you, then...
Have they run out of pens?
Possibly.
Missing a clipboard?
Could be all of the above.
Whistle. She's grabbing a whistle. Nope.
Yeah.
Throwing the whistle down. Stopwatch. So, backup stopwatch.
The old batteries in the stopwatch that I had
jam
failed
timer.
thing.
Stopwatch swap.
They kind of need it. They're actually
It's
very
kind of their job. Yep. Very important piece of equipment for the jam timer.
Speaking of officials, all of our skating and non-skating officials here today. Thank you so much for giving up your time, because without you, we don't get to commentate because there's nothing to commentate. There's
Very
no
true. It
derby.
would be a lot more boring if we were just talking in an empty shed.
Yeah.
Oh, a little bit of...
little bit of antics on the start line there. Corey trying to throw PMS off. PMS having none of it.
Yeah.
Not now anyway, as we get this one underway.
Oh,
Nicely done. Nicely done. Corey using the inside part of the main straightaway. Gets on through lead jam at Ballarat. And not to be outdone, also PMS getting through the pack as well.
Oh.
And Corey opting for that sort of hit it and quit it. Just get me some points and I'm going to call it off.
Beauty and grace, though, going backwards on one toe stop as you slide through and call it.
Yep.
It's, sure there'll be photos of that.
Well, back in round 2, out down Warragul way, down the back straightaway towards the very end of the game, Corey, there is a photo of Corey almost about 3 inches off the ground, mid-air, calling off a jam. That's
amazing.
It's a skill.
It is. Sione takes that inside line, grabs the lead before Hells even attacks the yellow wall. But only 40 feet between them as they both scream around for their scoring pass. Ballarat taking the front of the pack, forming sort of a 2-2. I think we're going to do 2 offense, 2 defense. Ooh, did Helsia get any points before the call? We've got 3 points for Ballarat and one sneaky stolen point from Diamond Valley, bringing our score 133 to 100. I can do the math on that one. It's a 33-point lead.
Yep.
Another call, another officials. Having a chat over here on the outs. It's the OPRs having a chat. They're bringing it in. Pee-wee's calling it in. Do you think that's going to be points, or do you think that's going to be...
Hard to say.
Mind read, damn it.
No, right. My crystal ball batteries ran out overnight. So even though it's only 33 points, Ballarat, they'd be looking for... They're going to be wanting a power jam in the next couple of jams, I would have thought.
Or one where they've locked the other jammer down such that it's effectively 100%. A power jam, yeah.
Yeah. Of course, the Diamond Firetails, what they're going to want to do is...
Keep doing what they're doing.
12
zeros.
Yep. And if you can keep the other team down to nothing...
Yep.
Then that's a win. So be interesting to see after this brief discussion here. All referees are involved in it now.
Yeah, because like the teams would be using this time to talk strategy and what's working, what's not working.
Yep.
Oh, rolling whistle says Pee-wee.
Pee-wee's happy to.
Other point's going to change. Saves come in to have a bit of a chat. So as the bench crew, you can ask questions, but if they start to have an outcome or a bit convoluted, you've then got to change that up to an official review. I sort of recommend yes/no questions if you're just going to ask questions.
Yeah. Very, very quick. Don't hold the game up unnecessarily.
Yep. Otherwise, you've got to upgrade to that official review.
Exactly.
Corey versus Nick. Firetails on that back line, unusually. Ballarat at the front. Got a tripod +1. Then the +1 has to go back to bridge. Nope, changes their mind because Corey's pushed the back half of the pack up. Corey gets lead. Nick still battling against 2. Make that 2 different. Ballarat blockers. Curls at the front. Oh no, there's a toe stop that went to the outside. Nick gets a cut track, heads to the penalty box. Now this is what you asked for. You asked for a power jam for Ballarat.
Yep, Ballarat will
Here
be...
comes Corey. Now they've got to capitalise on this though. No squandering it, no getting your own penalty. Just points safely. 3 people on the ground in that scoring pass, but still 4 points on the board. Oh, the Ballarat bench do some kind of muscle-like hand signal. The whole team partaking. As Corey passes the bench, Slap says, nope, you will not pass. You can get past 7 people, but not the 8. All Gandalf style there. Oh, beautiful footwork on the inside line. Turning from forwards to backwards to forwards. Another 4 points. We've now got 12 unopposed points to Corey. Coming around for that 4th scoring pass. Ooh, push. Ooh, that was a fall from a height. That didn't go onto knee pads. That went straight onto body.
Onto body, onto hip.
We're onto concrete.
Which-
Nick's back from the penalty box, pushing up against the full wall of Ballarat at the front. And they're pretty invigorated, right? They've seen Corey do a few laps, so they're motivated to not let Nick out. Although Corey's gotten to that, I've done a few laps on a little bit slow stage. Still pushing out for another scoring pass. Nick's now got the Ballarat.
Oh, bit of a tumble there from a couple of skaters.
So, well, there was that countdown to how many seconds remain in the jam. And so as a jammer, you've got to make that decision. Do I try and push past and get a couple of sneaky points? Or do I just kind of let it ride?
And it's a tricky decision to make because
sometimes you're not safe as you come in at the pack at speed.
Well, there's that too, and then I guess too, going into that jam, there was 33 points you had to consider. Do I continue to push and get as much as I can?
Yep. Or should I have called it the minute I exited the pack on that last thing and get those 7 seconds on the clock for later?
Exactly. But a handy 18 points it is then for Ballarat.
Huge 18 points.
As we get jam number 9 underway, PMS then jamming for and out front. Diamond Firetails. 166, Birdie jamming for Ballarat Rat Pack.
Beck doing a great job stopping PMS at the front there.
Yeah, nicely done. Gussie joining in on the fun as well.
Bit of a whip there off of 9999, who squealed like a pony boy.
Yep. There's Birdie finds some territory to the inside, or the centre part of turn number 2, getting on through the pack. But whilst that was happening, PMS getting on through and picking up 4 more points to add to the Diamond Firetails.
Oh, Birdie sliding down the inside.
Total. Yeah, nicely done, Birdie, to the inside part of turn number 3.
That's what you want. If you can't get lead, get even, right?
Oh, exactly right. Exactly right.
So we should probably do a score check after those
check.
two exciting jams.
Yes, please.
Diamond Valley, Firetails are now at 140 after scoring 7 points in that guy. And 122. Ballarat clawing it back after a 4-point jam at that time.
Didn't we see an 18-point jam just 2 jams ago?
We sure did.
Because that's what the difference is at the moment, so...
Oh, I love a number synchronicity.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, who's calling that? So that's a Firetail timeout. Ooh, that to me shows that they're a little bit worried. That to me is we'd better call a timeout and regroup because this is getting closer than we like.
Yep.
Both teams have got 1 blocker in the box. Both of those blockers are standing, so we'll have a 3-on-3 for at least, well, a round, but somewhere between 0 and 10 seconds.
Yeah. Did my wife do a naughty and end up in the penalty box? She did indeed. Oh, well.
Something illegal to the game of Derby, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
So do you think Firetails will put Hell Yeah straight back out now that she's had a timeout to rest?
I guess if you're the bench coach from the Firetails, you're looking. The first thing I'm doing is looking.
Yeah, are they putting Corey out or not? Who are they putting out?
Yeah, who have Ballarat got out on the track blocker-wise?
And pack matching that jammer.
Yep, pack matching that jammer, exactly.
Sione.
Yeah, and you called it. So that is purely tactical from the Firetails, absolutely no doubt about that. But also not to be outdone, Ballarat putting Sione out.
Yeah, that's a good match. In the usual way, we have Diamond Valley taking that back line, Ballarat taking the front line, but with 3-on-3, we get a no pack call rather than a bridging out. Ballarat have to let Halzier out the front, which she's pleased about, obviously. And she's got a half-track lap ahead of Sione. Oh, that was passes a bit too easy, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Untouched on the inside line. 4 points to Halzier, 144 to Diamond Valley, 122 to Ballarat.
And of course, immediately after this game, we have Westside taking on East Vic. Now, you talk
Battle
about
of the Compass.
You talk about 2 evenly matched teams. That should be a belter. 166. Birdie then jamming for Ballarat. And Nick, and I can never get Nick's number right, and I do apologise, Nick. It is 6502.
Just rolls off the tongue.
It does. So Nick out front, just got the two blockers there. 266 Beck's there, Gussie's there for Ballarat, but nicely done by Nick getting on through for the Firetails, picking up lead jammer. Giving up about a half a track to Birdie there, 166 jamming for Ballarat.
Not a full 4 there, 2 for Nick at the front, but the more important thing, keeping Ballarat scoreless.
Yep.
$146 to Diamond Valley, $122 to Ballarat. No idea how much time's left on the period clock. It's got a 4 in it.
Something 54.
14?
Just under 15 minutes.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
We're into the final quarter.
Final quarter.
We have Corey running down the inside. Ooh, falling on their butt at speed. Crowd goes, ooh.
and guess who that was that put on the hit?
Slaps. Who would have thought it? Who would have thunked it?
Yep.
So Corey has to do it all again. Spins around the inside line. Lead jammer. PMS, half a track behind, completes their initial pass. Ballarat go back to do some offense on the Diamond Valley. Corey sweeps around the outside untouched, which kind of camouflagely makes up for being thrown off the track the previous pass. And Hawkeye's just showing us the most excellent shot of Corey falling. Be sure to check that one out on the statewide
I was just going to
page.
say, yeah.
In about 4 months' time when he catches up on the editing. So that was 4 points Ballarat unopposed, 146, 126, 20 points in it.
Well, are you busy as a photographer, Hawkeye? Really?
Lots of roller derby.
Yeah. And the odd wedding here or there. So we get jam number 13 underway. Sione jamming for Ballarat. Hells Yeah jamming for the Firetails. Hells Yeah gets on through, picking up lead jammer. As the pack now comes into turn number 2. And after a bit of a dance to the outside part of turn 2, Hells Yeah decides to call that one off. Not before picking up.
It'll be the full 4, I think.
I was going to say the 4-ish points.
Four-ish, yep, can't see the scoreboard. 10 minutes left in the game. You're just over 20 points behind. You can't afford to go 4. Like, you can't alternate 4-4-4. You've got to draw some kind of line in the sand and say we're gonna make more than 4 points in a jam.
Yep.
Or otherwise you're gonna have to start using your timeouts to make some time on the clock. Corey's back out. Corey versus Nick. Corey is up against Slaps again though. Arch nemesis, mortal enemies. Oh, Nick comes around that outside for lead. Slaps recycles Corey to the inside. Nick's got at least half a lap advantage. Oh, the beast comes right out the front, re-engages. Not quite successfully, but definitely slows Corey down.
Yeah.
Nick comes through for scoring pass, heads to the in, heads to the out, heads to the floor, whilst calling, multitasking. Who says we cannot multitask in roller derby? Well, nobody. We've seen jumpers and call-offs and false and call-offs.
Yeah. We've seen people calling off jams mid-air.
Mid-air, mid-floor.
That's it.
All right, so that was a 3 points to Nick. 0 points to Ballarat. 153 versus 126.
So again, Ballarat are going to want to try and address this no points per jam sort of scenario, or else this game is going to get away from them if it's not already. Nicely done then. PMS gets on through, lead jammer for the Firetails.
Little toe-stop run up the outside, successful. Star pass for Ballarat. Snipples now jammer of note.
Yep. 266 take a bit of a tumble there. Beck for Ballarat.
Snipples drawn back by Watto.
Yep.
Whilst PMS pushing that tripod of Ballarat at the front for their second scoring pass of this jam.
Tough triangle for Ballarat. You got Beck, you got Gussie. You got Birdie in amongst there as well. As this one is done and dusted. It's in the books. PMS has had enough. But not before putting 7 points on the board for the Diamond Firetails. They move along to 160. Just the 4 points in for Ballarat. They are on 130.
30-point game. 10 minutes on the clock.
This is still very much attainable for Ballarat.
We have Sione jamming for Ballarat, followed by Helsier, who does actually follow her up the inside, but is successful, gets lead jammer. Sione, 15 feet behind. And just gauging how far she can push those borrowed skates as to how much she can catch up. Both jammers hitting the pack at the same time. Helsier enters the pack whilst calling. 0 points. Sione sneaks in 1 point at the back of the pack.
Sneaky 1 point.
Bringing us to a 29-point differential, but we need more than 1 point per jam to bring this back.
Who's it going to be? Is it going to be the Firetails taking the win, or is Ballarat going to claw their way back
And just
for a
with
famous victory?
roller derby is so fickle and unpredictable. Penalties can change the outcome in the last jam.
Yeah, 100%.
It's not over till it's over. So we have a timeout to Ballarat. Yep, they're having that little chat. We've got 29 points. We've got 9 minutes and 48 seconds. What are we going to do? How are we going to win?
What do you change up?
Yeah. Well, let's be honest, the jammers have been fending for themselves. We haven't seen very much off the line.
No.
So I guess then it really is, you've got 10 minutes in the game. You're going to put out solid blocking walls in the hopes that you can shut down that other jammer longer than you have in the rest of the game. I'd be beefing up the defence, I think, for the last few.
Yeah, look, if I was the bench coach, I'd be looking at something that I haven't done, something that I think I know is going to work.
Well, you've got to risk it. You either don't risk it and the score continues the same it is, and you risk it and it might turn out worse. Like, that's the risk of it, but it's different, so hence has a chance of changing things up.
And who knows, it might just be a move that throw the opposition off a little bit, because they obviously haven't expected
Haven't seen it yet. They haven't adapted to it.
Jammer change, whether it's a blocker setup change, something, I guess.
Or maybe it is you do the O off the line. You haven't been doing that?
Yeah, true. I've always been of the opinion if plan A is not quite working, have a crack at plan B or even
doing
C.
the same thing's not going to change the outcome.
No.
So you've got to change something up. Oh, I love close games.
Oh, they're a bit of fun.
We've got Nick lining up for the Firetails, up against Birdie for Ballarat. As usual, Diamond Valley have taken that back line. Oh, Birdie. It's gone up the inside, up against Beast, pushing Beast with Ponyboy at the front. 2 blue blockers to beat, pushing. Oh, pushing is the word. Ponyboy and Beast doing an amazing 2-all at the front. Oh, they've got enough space now to form back into a tripod. Birdie pushed to the inside, not drawn back, but the yellow tripod is kind of overtaken on the outside, allowing Birdie to get lead jam around the outside. Ballarat reforming their 4-wall, slowing Nick down. They now are at the front of the pack. Nick has pushed the yellow blockers to the front of the pack. Birdie just blitzes that tripod at the back. Question.
Yeah.
Would you have called that?
In my most unbiased answer, I probably wouldn't have.
Me neither. I feel that Nick was on initial pass. You had lead. You just blitzed through that tripod so you could do it again, right? Blockers had Nick contained. Now we've got 30 seconds taken off the clock and you've got to fight for lead again.
Yeah.
That was an opportunity, I feel, to have scored more points. Again, my opinion, not the opinion of the Derby community at large.
True. So we have the 2 pocket rockets, number 1, 2 PMS jamming for the Firetails, number 1 jamming for Ballarat. It is Sione. PMS taken to the inside part of turn number 1 there. The recycle from Haley almost back into turn, well, it is back into turn number 4, but that wasn't phasing Sione too much because Sione has gotten through lead jam at Ballarat.
The gamble paid off, right?
Yep.
They've got lead again.
Yep.
Oof.
So it's just the 2 blockers for Sione to get through, but unfortunately in the process of that, Sione has picked up a back block.
Headed to the penalty box. PMS just dancing through.
So if you're talking all things strategy, this was not in Ballarat's book of what should we do in this jam.
No. Top 10 things I want to happen this jam,
That's not
in
one
that
of them.
list.
So it's 4 more points then for PMS on that previous pass.
Now Sione will have a couple in her pocket. We don't know how many at this stage, but still has to get another pass to obtain all of them. Sione released before the end of the jam. That's handy at least. You'll
Yep.
start with 2 jammers on the track. Sione didn't have any from the previous
No.
pass. So that was a 10-point jam for PMS for the Firetails. 0 points for Ballarat. We are now at 170 to 135. So our 30-point lead's gone out to a 35-point lead.
Yeah.
And we have 7 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in the period. We've also got a timeout. It's an official timeout.
Mm-hmm.
Officials are all getting officially.
They are getting officially.
But not a long officially. It was quite a short officially.
It was an officially a very unofficial. No. Shut up, JR. What are you
Officially a
talking-
short.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say.
Diamond Valley grabbed that back line on the track. It's worked for them. Why change it up for them? They have no reason to change up what they're doing.
But if I'm the Ballarat, I'm right on the jammer line. I'd be encouraging my blockers to get out there and go, you know what, take the ascendancy away, because it's working for them. So I think we're under an official review. Huh?
Yeah, it looks like. Am I running out again?
Do you want to run out again?
Yeah, if I can feel my toes.
So we've got ourselves under our second official timeout as Harm makes her way to the centre there to find out what this review is for. That was a very quick collation of information there, Harm.
So Ballarat, similar to request to last time, they'd like the back block revoked from their jammer, as they believe the jammer hit on more of a side legal target zone area rather than straight in the back. I don't know how much I think my derby bench personality comes out in this kind of a time. I wouldn't be calling that O. I don't think that jammer's got that many penalties.
No.
I could use that O later on as a timeout, just in case.
Yep.
If I was running low on my timeouts. And,
Yeah.
okay, if she was on 6 or 5 or 6 and they were a star jammer, sure.
Yeah.
But I'm feeling...
Yeah. But I guess too, when you've only got 6 or so minutes remaining,
7:09. Yeah, but
desperate times call for desperate measures, and
but every time you stop that clock straight after a jam ends, you get
Yeah.
30 seconds, 30,
Yeah.
27, 25 seconds back on the clock.
yeah,
And if there's only 30 points in it, you may need them. So that's like a minute and a half you've potentially got.
yeah,
You could be clawing back. That's an extra jam in the game. That
That's
could
right.
make or break it.
that's right. So I'm just looking at the scoreboard.
I'm giving away all my bench secrets today. All of them.
There's a little dot flashing right next to the score line of 135 for the fans that are here today and might not understand what is going on. If you look at the scoreboards to the left or to the right of each score, there are 4 dots.
3 timeouts, 1
Yep.
official review.
And that official review is retained by look because that little black dot right down the very bottom on its lonesome is still there.
Still there. Well, there's all's well that end well then.
Exactly.
Corey v. Hells yeah, of course it is. This is what the crowd comes to see. Corey on the inside, just saunters around the inside. Why not? Hells yeah, having a bit of a jump and a skip and hop. Oh, hits curls. Curls knocks them out. A drawback. All day and safe, says one of the benches, one of the bench mirrors. Corey just straight through the middle. Hells yeah, being held up. Oh. Goes to the in, to the out. Team Yellow reforming on Hells yeah at the front of the pack. Oh, cut track for Hells yeah, as called by Nickel Blocker, sending Blue Jammer to the penalty box, meaning Corey. And what Ballarat wants is 30 seconds unopposed.
Yep.
Corey is definitely going safe. Their whole demeanour's changed in the way they've come in.
Yep. But a good opportunity then for Corey and Ballarat
Help. Very
get some-
cool. I'm going to swing my arms and say help.
to get some much needed points.
Yeah. This is exactly what Ballarat needs,
Mm-hmm.
assuming that they can take advantage of it,
100%.
can optimise it. Corey staying so safe, sitting to the middle of the track, just side to side, side to side.
As a very famous motorsport commentator once used to say, catching is one thing, overtaking is another.
I love that.
So whilst it's
that.
important for Corey to get those points, sorry to interrupt
Then you've got to
you there.
maintain it. No, interrupt
Got
all
it,
you
got it.
like. That was wisdom. Corey calls it before Helsier gets anywhere close to the pack.
Have a look at-
16 points.
Have a look at
Ballarat.
this.
That's amazing.
It's only 19 points in it.
0 points scored by the Firetails in that jam, so it's now 170 to 151. 19 points, and the period clock says 6. Is that 6 or 5?
5:15.
Thank you. 5
Thank you.
and 12. Thank you.
It's always helpful from the fans in the stand to be able to
We're just missing
chime
the
in when they can.
tiny sliver
Always
of the left
appreciate
side
it,
of
yeah.
the scoreboard.
Just needs to be. Just
We had to move the scoreboard a little bit so that the benches could see it without having
Yeah,
to
they
look
have
backwards.
precedence. Yeah.
Okay,
If
so
anyone
what?
has a spare TV, I could set up the commentators with their own scoreboard.
Oh, all right. So what wasn't in the script was that
No.
PMS gets out and gets lead jammer. and
Not
then
in
starts-
Ballarat's script. I'm
No.
sure Diamond Valley are quite happy with that.
So the two jammers worth noting that were on the track. Number 1 for Ballarat, it was Sione. 1-2 PMS. As that jam number 19, has come to an end.
4 unopposed points for Diamond Valley. 174, 151. Stretching that lead out just that little bit. And as we said, there's now only 4 minutes left in this game of roller derby. We have an official something. What do we got?
It's an official timeout of some
Yes, it's
description.
an official timeout. Jam time is trying to work out. Yes, it's official. Yes, I'm doing this hand signal. This
Yes.
one here.
One of the scoreboard operators has
I
gone
rem-
for a run behind us. They're actually going for a run.
That is a long way to go. I remember being a jam timer once and having to do like a 7-minute timeout. My arms were never the same.
No.
It was sore.
You could take advantage of that and bring your weights and just do some bicep curls while you're doing
Yeah,
if
no.
you're really keen.
7 minutes without weights is long enough.
Okay.
Well, was that a jammer? Are we changing up the jammers? Are we doing a jammer substitution in this timeout? Oh, no. I see why there was an official review.
Yeah.
We have PMS in the box.
Yes.
So that last jam, even though she got her 4 points, called it off. Something went wrong. And she's now, something went wrong in the whole terms of roller derby legality.
Yep.
And she's now starting this jam in the box. So it's a 30-second power jam for, is that Birdie?
Yeah.
Yep. Yellow blockers taking on a blue blocker each. Doing some O. Runs down the outside behind Pony, but Pony Boy and Beast again taking that where the 2 wall at the front very seriously. Oh, 2-0. Beck and Curls come in, do the O. You've got to do that when to O and when to maintain the pack kind of
That's
a
right.
decision. Beast almost took it to the inside line, but Birdie gets lead.
And this is where you want to put the jets on. Get around, get the initial pass all done
Yeah.
and dusted. Get about doing point scoring pass before the opposing jammer comes back on.
Yep. Speaking of opposing jammers coming back on, PMS, sneaks up the outside, has done their initial pass. Birdie's still stuck in the pack, behind Beast. Gets told to call off the jam, keeping PMS scoreless and scoring, was it 3 or 4 points for themselves? 3 points for Ballarat. Getting closer to the action.
Yeah.
Sorry, the photographer just came over to show me a shot of me laying on the table, but I'm just got all eyes peeled, and it's cold.
And it's brisk.
I haven't reffed a game like you.
Well, now I'm cold because I've
Sat still in your
I've
sweat.
sat still.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Helsier on that line. Oh. And
Helsier?
Sione. Oh, Sione heading to the penalty box. This is not what you want with 2.5 minutes left in the game and a
No.
30-point. Actually, it's only a 20
20
point
points.
differential. Jeez. Helsier dances, tiptoes, spins through the pack, gets out for the lead jammer while Sione looks on melancholy from the penalty box.
Is that Helsier or PMS? I think
Oh, it's
that's
PMS,
yeah.
sorry, my bad.
Apologies to PMS. Apologies to Helsier. Sorry.
Got it right for 28 minutes, just those last 2. Ballarat blockers taking a tripod at the front. No pack called, have to let her go.
Yep.
PMS gets that another set of 4, full set, add them to the mantelpiece. Sione chased at the front by slaps. Firetail saying, nope, no points for you, I'm going to call that. Stretching the lead by another 8 points. 183 to 154. So 29 points. A minute and a half on the clock. That would be hard.
I have seen it.
I know. I was going to say I'm not going to discount it. It's just going to be hard.
So the instruction then from the Firetails mirror coming
Safe.
loud and strong right across the track. So the Firetails skaters know exactly what they have to do. Nicely done, 266, Beck out the front.
Slowed her down, didn't stop her.
Yep.
Hells yeah, getting lead.
Looks like we've got 16 Killer Curls jamming for,
The first time.
yep, for Ballarat. Although earlier in the game,
Star pass, yep.
Star Pass was there for Curls.
Yep. Being
Nicely
recycled by
done
the
then
beast.
from the Beast, yeah.
Not successful with the drawback though, getting a direction penalty on the way back. So I think that's Hellsier's second scoring pass. And Killer Curls has just come around for their first scoring pass. Both jammers exit the pack. Although, Hellsier. Okay, Hellsier didn't just exit the pack. She made Curls exit the track. Now got a half-track lead. 9 seconds left on that period clock. I have a feeling they're just trying to burn this. I don't mind if they go lap 4 for 4.
Yeah, true.
Oh, calling it with 1 second. No seconds left on the period clock.
Yeah, no, Hells yeah, had seen enough and thought, no, I'm on the ground.
Well,
I'm gonna this is me done.
Yep, hard work to stand back up. Why would you bother?
Exactly.
So that was a 14-point jam for Hells yeah. 4 points for the Killer Curls, Star Pass to Killer Curls. So the unofficial score, 197 Firetails over 158 Ballarat. What a great game.
Very entertaining game. I like that one. That
Very
was good.
closely skills match. So
Yeah.
keeping within touching distance of that score, that whole last half. Just waiting for that final rolling whistle to tell us that is correct, that those numbers add up.
As we see the East Vic skaters and the West Side skaters making their way.
Oh, that's a pretty game. Look at
Track.
the colours. We've got the purple and the blue.
We've got
Although the
purple.
yellow and the blue is nice too.
Yeah, true, it is.
I like it when they're bright and vibrant and one team's not in black.
Yes.
Like, makes a change.
True. So the fans now making their way trackside also to join the skaters and offering up a high five as we send these two teams around the track.
We're still waiting on that final whistle. We're still waiting. Or have we heard it?
Well,
Oh, we heard it. We just haven't had the scoreboard hasn't updated to say final score. That's all.
whoops.
Misled.
So I think the Diamond Firetails, they're going to go around first. So I will hand it over to you, Harm, and you can call these awesome skaters through.
Victors for today: 12 PMS, 155 Power Ranger, 2627 Hells Yeah, 351 Watto, 37 Jolsey, 45 Assassin Speed, 495 L, 55 Bussy the Vampire Slayer, 6502 Nick, 666 The Beast, 8888 on Babysitter Duty on the sidelines was Pepper Vendetta, 93 Slaps, 999 Ponyboy, and 101 Campaign.
Now, beautifully done. And on the Ballarat side of the equation, we have number 1, Sione, 111, Slasher Scissorhands, 113, Willow the Wisp, 16 Killer Curls, 166 Birdie, 216 Haley, 22 Corey, 266 Beck, 38 Roast Mortem, 55, and the captain Snipples, number 9, Gussie. The two teams,
Gussie 1 and Gussie 2.
Gussie 1 and Gussie 2, the two teams then going around and offering up a high five to the fans. Well, that was entertaining. That was fun.
It was amazing. It was lovely chatting with you.
Yeah, likewise. We should do this commentary thing again.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, I'm okay with that as well. So we're going to take a short break, Derby fans. And of course, it is the Diamond Firetails taking the win, 197 to 158.
And we'll see you back for East Vic versus Westside.
You will indeed.